So Pusha T just released his new album Daytona May 25th. It has 7 songs and it runs for 22 minutes. The album cover is a Polaroid of Whitney Houston's drug-laden bathroom, and the Polaroid itself costs $85,000 to license it worldwide. And this basically shows like how important this picture was, and it helps increase the overall theme of the album, which is very drug heavy. And the title of the album means luxury of time. And Daytona is also the name of a luxury watch called the Rolex Daytona. So this shows that Pusha is very conceptual with the creation of this album, from the artwork to the name of the album. So a lot of thought put forth into this. But anyways, moving on, standouts, we have Comeback Baby. On this record, he says, "Who else got the luxury to drop when he want, cause nobody else can fuck with me? What a show off. Nigga, wrist for wrist, let's have a glow off. Fuck it, brick for brick, let's have a blow off. And they tired of dancing like a yin yang twin. You can't have the yin without the yang, my friend. Yeah. Real niggas bring balance to the game, my man. Yeah, can't escape the scale if I try, and the state traffic is a lie. Push." And then we have What Would Meek Do featuring Kanye West. On this record, Pusha T says, "See, I did it my way. The proof's in the bricks. Yeah. Smell it through the Tupperware. Two can get you forward like a double dare. Woo. I'm the king of the ovenware. You can piece the whole puzzle here." And that's basically Pusha showing off his coke bars, which is typical from him. And then on the latter part of the song, we have Kanye, who says, "Am I too complex for Complex Con?" And I think that's kind of like a shot at them, because I don't think he was invited to do Complex Con, even though he has like all these out there ideas or whatnot. And then he says, "Everything Ye say cause a new debate. You see, he been out of touch. He cannot relate. It's all way too long." And that's basically him acknowledging how he sees the public views him, because he's not really been out there in the public eye for a minute. He's been, out of the way working on music and whatnot. And then he says, "Bitch, too bad. Gotta surrogate his kid." And that's in reference to his wife Kim, who can't have kids because she's had complications with delivering kids, so they have to get a surrogate if they were to have another child. And then he says, "Get 2 dads, I be thinking. What would Tupac do? You be thinking what New Kids on the Block do. If you ain't driving while black, do they stop you? Will MAGA hats let them slide like a drive-through?" And that's basically him talking about when you're driving as a black person, you're more than likely to be stopped. And he's saying, if they were to be wearing the MAGA hat, would that be a sort of deterrent to them being stopped? And then he says, "That phone call from Ricky still hazy. When heaven got an angel named Avery, you gotta watch who you calling crazy. Yeezy, the newest $1 billion baby. It won't feel right till I feel like Phil Knight, going for 6 rings like what Phil told Mike." And that $1 billion claim is actually true, because his company is worth several $1 billion. So in essence, if he was to sell his company, he would be a billionaire. And then he says, 7 pill nights. Who know what that feel like? No more hiding the scars. I'll show him like Seal, right? And the 7 pill nights is in reference to when Kanye had that breakdown, or as he say, breakthrough, and the doctors put him on 7 pills. He was on 2 pills, and then he went to 7. And then he's asking, do you know what that feel like to be drugged up like that? And the no more hiding the scars is in reference to him getting liposuction, and I guess he has scars from having that surgery. And Seal, as you know, is this black musician who's famous for having these scars on his face. And then he says, "How do you respond?" at the end. So That entire record is very loaded, and I thought it was one of the better songs off of the entire album. And then we have Infrared on this record. Pusha throws some jabs at Drake and Wayne's situation with Cash Money. And pairing that with the title of the record, which means light that is invisible to the human eye, but with a special film can be seen. It puts Pusha as the film that sees through the facade of the artist he mentions in the record. And he says, the game's fucked up. Niggas beats is banging. Nigga, your hooks did it. The lyric penning equal the Trump's winning. And that's basically a shot at Drake. He's saying that his beats is hard, but his bars aren't really, up to par, and that he's not the one behind the lyrics he's even speaking. And then he says, the bigger question is how the Russians did it. It was written like Nas, but it came from Quentin, and that's a shot at Drake. It was written like Nas. It was the name of one of Nas's albums, and Quentin Miller was Drake's ghostwriter. And then he says, oh, now it's okay to kill baby. Niggas looked at me crazy like I really killed a baby. And that's a shot at Birdman. And Pusha T was talking about how Baby was screwing over people in terms of their contracts and how people weren't being paid and whatnot. And then he says, salute Ross because the message was pure. He see what I see when you see Wayne on tour. And he's talking about how Ross called out Birdman on Idols Becoming Rivals. And then Ross sees what Pusha was talking about way back when he was talking about how the contracts over at Cash Money were all messed up. And then he says, Flash without the fire, another multi-platinum rapper trapped and can't retire. How could you ever right these wrongs when you don't even write your songs? And then the multi-platinum rapper is Wayne. So he's basically saying Wayne is forced to go on tour because he can't retire off of what he was supposed to be paid off of all the records and stuff he sold, because Birdman basically finessed him out of a lot of money. And then he's talking at Drake saying, how could you ever right these wrongs when you don't even write your songs? And then he says, but let us all play along. We all know what niggas for real been waiting on. Push. And now is another shot basically saying that everybody that's in a know what's really going on, but to much of the public, they are willing to, go along with the facade, and that, everything is on the up and up when Pusha T knows it's not. So as you can see, like just from those three records right here is a very deep and heavy album. And then moving on, sleepers, we have If You Know, You Know, The Games We Play, and Hard Piano featuring Rick Ross. My personal favorites are Comeback Baby, What Would Meek Do, and Infrared. And my overall conclusion, I thought it was a great album. He gave us quality over quantity, because like in today's world of music, most artists are just creating albums full of filler just to get those sales from streaming and whatnot. And so they're putting just a whole bunch of songs in their albums when they're not really good songs. They're more or less filler. And Pusha T broke his album all the way down to 7 songs, and I gave it 7 out of 7. So a perfect score. It was a great album. If you're a fan of Pusha T, I recommend that you pick up this album. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.